Hello Swapper Shoppers, in today's video I've got sweet and sour chicken ready meal version. It's from Lidl. Now if you're new here, make sure to hit subscribe, but in the meantime I'm going to show you exactly what we've got. So here is the What's Cooking sweet and sour chicken. Look at that, it actually does look pretty good. Here is your serving suggestions. We've got 438 calories. And again with these ready meals, they're just absolutely full of salt. If you know why, let me know in the comments. It's also pretty deceiving because it says green, but it's 17 grams of sugar. That's quite a lot of sugar. I imagine it's for the sauce. So here is the other side. We've got cooked chicken breast pieces. Oh, it's chicken breast in a sweet and sour sauce with red peppers and pineapple pieces served with rice. You get 48% rice, 12% cooked chicken pieces, and it looks like the remainder is pretty much just the sauce. You get 400 grams for your money. I'll tell you how much it costs in just a minute. But here are your cooking instructions. So I've defrosted this to try and give it its best possible chance. I don't know if it'll make any blind bit of difference. But basically you've got to microwave it for 6 minutes, stir in some water to the rice, and then a further 3 minutes. Or again, you can oven cook it, but I mean, who's got the time to be oven cooking? Now guess how much this cost. If you've seen my other video, you should know by now. 85p. 85p for an entire ready meal. Let's hope it tastes good. So here is the box. So just going to get it opened. Let's have a look. Okay, fairly big portion. I'm a little bit concerned because it looks quite radioactive colour. It's very bright red. I was expecting it to be more orangey tint. Now it says if you've thawed it, then you could have reduced the cooking time. So rather than 6 and 3 minutes, I'm going to do it for 5 and 2. See if that makes a difference, right? But if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe because you're going to see videos like this every single week where you see my honest reaction. I'm willing to go to Morrison's, Tesco, Sainsbury's, M&S, wherever you want me to go. I'm going to pick out ready meals, and the idea is I'm going to review all these ready meals, then I'm going to make my own versions that taste even better but at the fraction of a cost. How about that? Now, if you remember the last ready meal, I didn't add enough water and it made the rice disgusting. So I'm going to make sure I get plenty of water this time. I'm actually going to do 3 tablespoons / dessert spoons. Then I'm going to fluff it all together. Some of the sauce has already got in with the rice, but we don't really care, do we? Right, make sure that you almost stab it with your spoon to get best results, I think, because you're trying to break up any clumps. Right, that looks good to me. Right, then you want to stir your sweet and sour chicken. There's only I think there's about 4 bits of chicken. No, there's probably a bit more. Right, that goes back in the microwave for another few minutes. Okay, so here is your sweet and sour chicken. This looks pretty good. 85p. Lidl, you continue to surprise me. So you get quite a lot of chicken, which is good, and you get a hefty portion of rice. It all looks pretty decent to me. I'll get you a nice zoom in. You can see the glossiness of the sauce. You can see the pepper and also the pineapple. You don't get a lot of pepper in it, but plenty of pineapple it looks like, mixed with the chicken. So let's get into it. 85 pence for these ready meals. Honestly, it's absolutely crazy value for money. If you're living on your own or you just fancy a quick meal, honestly, you can't really go wrong with these. It costs so much more money to make a single portion. Obviously, if you're making lots of portions, it's going to be cheaper. So let's break up this rice. You can tell it's microwavable rice because there's that bounce to it. It's very difficult to describe, but it's just a bit too rubbery. Okay, sniff test. Smells okay. There's not a lot of smell to it. I could do with it smelling a bit sweeter, to be fair. Your mileage may vary, but let's check the chicken. This is chicken breast pieces, remember? So let's give it a try first. As chicken goes, that's good. Tiny bit on the chewy side, but nothing can't get past. Well, that's really good there. Right, let's try it a little bit with the rice as well. Not looking forward to this rice. Do you know what? I'm pleasantly surprised. Let's try another bit. Let's add a bit of the pepper. Mmm. Do you know what? That is full of flavour. There's a lot more flavour than I thought there'd be as well. Wow. Mmm. I'm actually shocked. This is a good plate of food. What's cooking range? I'm going to see if there's any more what's cooking range. Now these ready meals, according to this, currently I can store this in the freezer until the 27th of February 2025. Wow. So I can fill my freezer full of them and just have this whenever I want. 85p. Again, I don't understand how they can do it for this good value. This is amazingly good. So whilst I'm eating, let's talk scenarios. When would you want to buy this? I would say, if you're on your own and you don't really fancy the cooking, if you've got limited mobility to the point where you can't make this from scratch, unfortunately, or if you just want to have it for lunch as a meal, for example, if you're at work. Do you know what? That chicken is actually better than some of the chicken I've had from a Tesco pack of chicken. Even if you cut the kind of stringy bits and stuff off, still really good. And you get a decent portion, quite a lot of rice. I'm pleasantly surprised, as you can tell, because I'm eating it without making a fuss. So, I'm going to carry on eating. I'll see you in a second. So swappers, I've almost finished it. I would say that's great value for money. I've eaten all the chicken, almost all the rice, and I've left a little bit of the veg, just because that's my personal preference. However, is this a good ready meal? Absolutely. Now, the taste-wise, you want to know how it tastes ultimately. The sauce is quite sweet. It's sweet enough for me. I would prefer a little bit more depth of flavour, but for 85p, I don't think you're going to get depth of flavour. The rice was actually not that bad. I've had much worse rice. I think it did help the way that I kind of unclumped it and added some extra water. So if you missed that bit, rewind and make sure you follow that tip. But ultimately, I think this is great value for money. So swappers, another positive outcome. The sweet and sour chicken ready meal is actually really good. For 85p, I don't think you can go wrong. If you want to see another 85p video, check out this video where I review the Spag Bowl. You'll be pleasantly surprised, actually. Swapper Shopper out. Ciao.